Hello, welcome back. We are continuing lesson 12 on page 237, and we're about at the middle of the page here, step by step, switching between rows and columns in source data. You should have 12 chart solution open. All right, and what we're going to do here is we are going to copy the DEET sales chart sheet before the sales expense sheet and then name the tab DEET sales cat. Alright, so we're going to find the DEET sales chart. Let me just make sure there isn't. Okay, so we are going to move or copy, and we want to copy, so create a copy, and we want to move it before the sales expense sheet. So I'm going to click OK. Alright, and then it tells me to name the tab, so we're going to rename the tab DEET sales cat. And then on the design tab, we're going to use the change chart type button. Oh, let's press enter. Okay, click inside your chart, and we're going to use the chart tools design tab, and we're going to use the change chart type button, and we're going to switch it to a clustered column. So we have a stat column, we're going to move it to a clustered column, and we're going to click OK. Alright. Okay, and then what we're going to do here is it says, don't get confused about looking at this picture compared to ours. We still have another step to do before it looks like that. So on the horizontal axis shows each year. So this is our horizontal axis. Repeat within each year. We're going to change the chart so that category is a group and each year is shown as a different bar color. So on the design tab, we're going to click on switch rows and columns. Okay, the chart changes, and each year is now an individual color within each individual product. Okay, so you can kind of see, oh, 2014, was good for coffee. Its best year was 2015. Its worst year was 2017. For premium espresso coffees, it's gone up every year. Bakery has been declining. Coffee accessories has been going up. Packaged coffee has been going down, etc. Okay, save your workbook, and we're going to now use quick analysis tools, and we're going to add spark lines. So we're still using 12 chart solution. We're going to click on the sales expense worksheet, and it says to select cells A2 through F9. Alright, says the quick analysis icons appear at the lower right corner of the selected range, which is right here. It says move the pointer to the button and a screen tip displays. So the screen tip says use the quick analysis tool to quickly and easily analyze your data with some of Excel's most useful tools such as charts, color coding, and formulas. Okay, so we're going to click on that button, and next we're going to choose charts. Okay, the operation changed in the lower part of the gallery. Move the mouse pointer over charts, and a preview appears on the screen above the quick analysis tool. All right, and so now it says that we will not add any charts from the charts menu at this time. Okay, instead we are going to click on spark lines. So, well, if you hover over these, it will show you what they all look like, I guess is what it wants us to do. But we're actually going to click on spark lines. And it says, move the mouse pointer to preview the column A option. Move the mouse pointer to preview the column A option. A set of tiny column charts shows in column G. So you can kind of see how they look. Okay. Click the line option. A series of lines appears in your worksheet in column G. Row 2 years should not have a spark line. So we're going to click in cell G2. And on the design tab, we're going to click the clear button. The sparkline is removed in that cell. In G2, type sparkline, and then apply the heading 3 style. Cell style, we're going to choose heading 3. It says to click cell G9 and use the fill handle to drag to cell G10. A sparkline appears for the total. It says to select cells G3 through G10, and on the design tab there are a number of options that you can do with your sparkline. In the show group, we are going to click high point and low point in the styles gallery. Choose sparkline style dark 3. Sparkline style dark 3 is right there. Okay, and it says, take note, the design tab changes to sparkline tools when you have sparkline selected. Take the time to explore the options on the ribbon. Okay, so you can kind of take a look at what different options are up here on the ribbon, and then save your workbook. Okay, next we're going to be working with totals. It says get ready, use the workbook from the previous exercise, and we're going to click on the sales worksheet. Here we are. It says to select cells A3 through F7. Alright. And we're going to click the quick analysis button, and we're going to choose totals tab. It says to move to the first icon, sum, with the blue row highlighted in the icon. You'll see a preview on the worksheet of sum overriding the total sales row that was already there. So when I move my mouse over the top of this, it gives me a preview of what it would look like. Okay. Move to the next icon and you'll see a preview in row 8. Okay. Let's see. It says that eventually we're going to click the arrow on the right to preview more options, and we're going to click on eventually the percent of total option. Okay. And it says to click in cell G3 and notice the formula that's entered appears in the formula bar. In cell G2, we're going to type average, and then we're going to apply, hit enter, click back on average, apply heading 3 style to that cell, and it says to save your workbook. Alrighty, now we're going to apply some conditional formatting. Says to get ready, use the workbook from the previous exercise. You should still be on the Sales Worksheet tab. Move to the first icon, or sorry, it says select cells A3 through F7. Click the Quick Analysis icon, and then we're going to choose the Formatting tab. It says move to the first icon, Data Bars. Okay, you can see a preview on the worksheet of small bars in each cell indicating the relative value in that cell. Eventually, if you kind of hover over them, you can see what each of them looks like. We are going to click the color scale option to make this choice. So it says to click in a cell outside of the range so that the formatting is clear. The worksheet is formatted with the highest values in green and the lowest values in the red. It says to save the workbook and then close out of it. Next, we're going to be working with pivot tables and pivot charts. So we need to open up 12 school test data. So let's go here. I'm going to go here. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Shoot. Let's go to our Infotech, MOAC, data files, 12, school test data, and we're going to click in cell A1. Let's enable the content. Okay, so it says to click in cell A1, and then we're going to press the End button, and then press the down arrow. Notice that there are 139,129 rows of data. Press Control Home to go back up to the top. And it says that we are going to click the Insert tab. And we are going to click the Recommended Pivot Tables button. Okay. Just so you know, we need to read this up here. A pivot table report and pivot charts are collaborative ways to quickly condense and rearrange a large amount of data. Use a pivot table report to analyze and display the numerical data in detail and to answer unforeseen questions about your data. We're going to scroll to the bottom and we are going to, so over here on the scroll down, and we're going to click on Count of Scale by Proficiency Level. Okay. And then it says click OK. Alright, and we are going to and name the new sheet Count. Okay. The pivot table fields panes opens on the right side of your screen and the data appears on the worksheet. Notice that the data for no score is blank. That is because the count of the rows is based on the scale score, which is empty for unavailable scores. You will want to change the field to count to a field that has data. If you look back on the Test Data tab, every row is filled by a grade, so you can use the grade column so that every row is counted. Okay, so every one of these has a grade. Okay. So we'll go back to this count sheet. It says to drag the count of scale score from values oh, right here. We're going to drag this count of scale score from the value section into the worksheet to remove it. So I'm going to drag this and I'm going to drag it over here and let go. Okay. Notice that no score row now contains no counts from each missing score. It says to drag the field return to the count sheet and drag grade field in the pivot table field down. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay. I missed a step. We got to drag grade down to the values section. Okay, and we had scale score in here and we just drug it out. So now we should have, it now counts each missing score. So there are 1,231 grades over here that did not have a score. Okay. Next it says to drag the grade field to the columns area. So we're going to drag grade into columns right here. And you will see each grade summarized. Drag the test field into the filters column. Okay, and then it says cell B1 currently shows all. Okay, click the filter drop down arrow and we're going to choose math and then click OK. So now it's only showing us the math scores. Okay, we're going to click the filter drop down arrow again. This time we're going to choose reading and then click OK. So right now your data should look similar to this figure. So now it's finding all of the reading scores. We're going to save this worksheet. Oops, we're going to click File, Save As, and we're going to put it in our Lesson 12 folder. Oops, something's not working here. And my computer is freezing up. Okay, I'm back up and going. So we need to save this as 12 school test. Oh, let's see, 12 test pivot table solution. Okay. Ooh, and we need to save it in our in the correct folder. For some reason, this is kind of taking a little while for me here. I think something's going on with the server right now. So I'm not really able to save quite right, but hopefully it will come back. Alright, so I got it to save. Next we're going to add a pivot chart. So on the test data worksheet, we're going to click in cell A1, and on the Insert tab, we're going to click the Pivot Chart button. which is right here. And we're going to choose Pivot Chart once we click on the arrow. Okay, Pivot Chart dialog box opens and the range is selected. The default location is for a new worksheet. And we're going to drag the test field okay, so once we have that, we're gonna click OK. All right. We're gonna name the new sheet tab Pivot Chart. All right, and then it says that in the pivot table fields pane on the right, we're going to drag the test field to the filters area. And we're going to drag grade to the values area. And we're going to drag grade to the axis area down here and the proficiency level to the legend. Okay, it says to move the chart to the left of the worksheet below the data. So we're going to move this down here. And then it says to click the test drop down arrow and we're going to choose science and then click OK. Notice that only 5th, 8th, and 10th grades are available because only those grades take science. And we're going to click on the Format tab up here. And we're going to click Add Text Box in the Shapes group and then click the top of the chart and add a label that says Student Science Test Scores. And make this label bold and 18 points. Make it long enough here. Drag the border of the text box to reposition it as necessary. And we're going to click in cell A3. And change the label that says to just say count. Alright, and then click in cell F4 on the label for unsatisfactory. It says to move the mouse pointer to the left edge of the cell until the mouse pointer changes to a 4-headed arrow. And drag the mouse between columns C and D. So we're going to move this one to between C and D and then release. So now unsatisfactory is in a new location. It says repeat step 13 and move advanced column between proficient and grand total. So moving that one down here. And then it says to move and resize the pivot table so it appears within the range A10 through G26. Oh, move and resize the pivot chart so it appears between A10 and G26. So about to there. Okay, and then we're going to save, file, save as, save this workbook as Pivot Chart Solution in our Lesson 12 folder. Test Pivot Chart Solution. Save. Alright, and we are done with this lesson. It should look something like this when you're done. And congratulations, you have just finished the Excel MOAC book.